think I got everything. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hump day. I am so sleepy. I went to bed at a good time last night. I'm just really, really tired. I have to put all the lights on different settings because my eyeballs are about to pop out. Good morning. I went to bed I dozed off during a live. So before 10. And I don't know. I'm just really sleepy today. I have a few things I need to get done. Um, A lot of it is more like studying part. I have Patreon. We're gonna finish up the Dunkin' bag, like binding it and everything today. And then I'm thinking about taking these classes from different bag designers. Like they explain what software they use and why. I got a couple different oh my god, I can't I got a couple different like leads. People advise me this is what helped them, and so I'm going to be doing that. I written out my whole pattern. I need to sit down and actually do it and take pictures again. Good morning. Good morning, Pammy. Yeah, so I have that. Everyone in Florida, stay safe. I am watching the hurricane news like around the clock. You know how they are. The news is they're going to polarize it. So I know it's a category 3 storm. So I mean, hoping it doesn't cause a lot of damage. That's all we could do, right? So, all the kids are dropped off at school. My puppies are lounging around, sleeping, and I'm kind of envious of them right now. That's exactly what I want to do. I haven't had coffee. I need to go make some after this. I do miss Faith, the coffee maker. Don't tell her. Good morning. I'm thinking about making some cold brew and like in glass jars and just have it for the days that I don't want something hot. I just have something ready. Let's see. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Good morning, Christine. So yeah, that's it. Basically, Patreon, taking classes on not how to write your pattern, but more like what programs. Like I know some of my friends they use Canva. I have other friends that use um different programs. So I'm just gonna basically doing that, doing the researching part, which really usually makes me really excited to do, but I'm so tired. Like I'm so tired. So I also need to get everything ready because tomorrow at 10 I'm taking Faith to go get her ID because she just got a job. Um so that's exciting. Yeah. No, I see a couple people use Affinity and they have interesting feelings. I know one of the plus about that one is that it's like a one-time payment versus like a monthly contract or a yearly contract. I do like that because I suck at monthly stuff. I'm glad that your internet came back up. I hate there's nothing worse like if when you have a blackout or like your block doesn't have internet, you don't know how heavily you rely on internet until you don't have it available. Then you're just like, I use it for everything, like when I'm baking, cooking, anything. I use it for like, hey, Bixby, how do I do this? Um, yeah. But I did get to film a tutorial yesterday. I want to film one more tutorial, like a small tutorial. And then I'm hoping that tomorrow I can do my review for my press and show you all the cool like dies that they have so far. I'm really enamored with they have these purse dies, right? Purse bottom feet, right? They come in 3 sizes and there's 3 different shapes. So I'm really excited about that. Good morning. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I keep on reading too. So when I asked my friend was a couple of my friends are like, I do Adobe, but like I'm not trying to have like I'm not making patterns. This is just because I wanted to make it something special for So Magical Expo. So yeah. Good morning. Um yeah, I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited about Universal Studios because all the Death Eaters are going to be out for Halloween, and We all know I love Halloween, so I'm, like, really excited about that. Um, my friend is, like, giving me, like, all the information about Hogwarts, like, "You need to get this done, this done." Good morning. So, yeah, I'm just trying to plan everything out, trying to get everything it's just, like, there's so much, going on right now before any of these events that it sometimes gets a little overwhelming. Tomorrow, I hate the MVA with all my heart, but I'm taking Faith to get her ID. She got her first official job. She works at Smoothie King after school, and not on the days that she runs. Um, so she's excited about that, as she should be. We remember our first job. It's like our first, like, strike at independence. It's, like, pretty cool. Something that you control every aspect of that, and that is a very cool thing. So she's already having a busy senior year. Um Ken is doing pretty good in middle school. He's not liking his heavy backpack right now, but that's because he doesn't know how to fully work his locker to put stuff in it yet. So there's that. The pup is missing his kids. He's like sleeping by the front door or by the back door, trying to think that they're going to be coming in. And it's like so sad yet so cute at the same time. Yay, you survived another I mean, man, there's oh I okay, that's Talk Railroad, Terry. There's not been a lot of hurricanes this summer. Like, really not, which is freaking me out for winter because I'm like, we're gonna have like a horrible winter because summer's been kind of mild other than the high heat. So, in humidity for days. Oh, to the humidity. Um, so I have that tomorrow and got a million little things to do before. I still have not done inventory to see what I have for Baltimore Comic Con, and that's not good. Kendall promises me that if I don't get it done by Friday, that he'll help me out to go through all that. So I'm going to utilize that because there's no way in Hades I'm going to have that ready by Friday. What happened with Adobe? Oh, no, we were talking about different programs for you for patterns. I was explaining that some of my friends use Canva, which I have Canva, and to do it, some people use Brilliance. There are some people that use Adobe, but one thing I've heard all around is Adobe's a very expensive program to have. And the thing is for me, I'm not going to write another pattern. So I already know if I do, it's going to be something a continuation of something really small and I just want to send it out to people and whatever. That's not my job. My mind doesn't work like that. The fact that these designers are out there like putting out new bags for us, it's always amazing to me because like I feel like it would be extremely stressful to try to make a bag that appeases everyone. So the fact that they can do that is not a skill set I have. I can sew any kind of bag. I'm a good tester and I have good opinions, but that's just it. I just wanted to do this very simplistic bag for So Magical, but I didn't want to have like a bad like instruction packet like when they print it out. I didn't want it to be bad. I wanted it to be like cohesive so that way they could pull it out and use it anytime. I know Adobe's very, very expensive, but I don't plan on I'm not a full-time that's, like, not a full-time thing for me, so I was just getting advice from all different designers to see if there was a easier avenue where I can do something like a one-time thing. So I didn't even think of Canva until one of my friends in the UK told me, she was like, yeah, I do all my patterns on Canva." I'm like, "What?" I have Canva Pro and I've never seen Let's Do This, but it kind of makes sense because Kindle makes all these brochures that have like pictures and wording. Kind of looks like a pattern. If you look at like a brochure for the businesses, and he does it all through Canva. But I never even would have put two and two together because that's not my forte. That's not my skill set. Yeah, everyone yeah, and, there for Affinity, I do know there's a couple other people that have that do use it and they like it, and one of the key features that they like is that it's a one-time fee. It's hard, like I said, I don't know how you guys do it as designers, like, that it's really, really hard, like, it's interesting when I get someone's pattern tests, when I get to test someone's pattern, whether they have actual pictures they took themselves or they have drawings or what they have, I'm always enamored with it. I'm always appreciative of it because everyone learns differently. And I guess I have a huge different perspective on like designers because I see how hard you guys are working. So, I mean, no one would have ever told me that you would need to get these like design software and like special stuff to take crystal clear pictures, and it's crazy. I was talking to one of my friends, and her pattern was a simple pouch that was 3 pages, and it had like only 8 photos. And she was talking about it took her well over a week to get it all squared away. And I'm like, that is so crazy to me. So, yep, I know. And like the thing is though, Shannon, your I always call them booklets. Your are brilliant. Like, I think but I think that has a lot to do with your how your brain maps out. Like, you're the first person I used to say Venn diagram to everything when I'm studying or, when I'm doing modifications. When you put a Venn diagram for, the Tuesday tote, I was like, "She has my heart." Because, like, this is exactly what I do. Like, I'll do circles within circles to see what fits. So I under your booklets, your information come out really, really well. Your pictures are always appropriate with it and what have you. Like, there's certain bag designers, like, when I look at their bag, like, their writing styles, it's always so different. And like I told you, there's things that I start picking and choosing that I never would have thought helped, but does tremendously. Like, one of the reasons why I like Country Cow so much is because at the top of each page, she gives you all the seam allowances. Like, all the top stitching will be 1/8. We're gonna do 1/4 of an inch instead of 3/8 of an inch. And because it does that, I don't have to flip to the front of the page. If you ever look at my room and you see me have someone's pattern instructions with me, I have clips on pages. And most of the clips are for me to flip back and forth um to figure out the seam allowance because I don't know why my brain does never remember the seam allowance. That's why I said somebody needs to come out with seam allowance magnets for the for your sewing machine or like a light board or something, because then if I have something visually looking at saying 3/8 of an inch, I won't go back to that first cover to say what the seam allowances are. But that's how Country Cow became one of the designers that I love doing a pattern for, because I'm not wasting time flipping. The most critical information is on the very top of the page, and it just makes life so much easier for me. Um, and also, I like the fact that you say seam allowance, but when you don't do seam allowance, you put down, "We're doing 1/4 of an inch," or whatever. That I appreciate because sometimes it doesn't happen. It's a very pattern writing to me has is so difficult because 'cause you're trying to appease, like, everybody's learning, capability, so I couldn't do what you guys do. You know what was hilarious? Well, it's not hilarious, but what a real moment is that made me feel that me searching to find out more information about pattern writing, for this only, I cannot emphasize this enough. When I went to creative bag making, if you're not in that group, I always tell people you should be because there's a wealth of knowledge in there. There's so much knowledge in there, like from so many different people. So I'm searching, um, I'm looking in the search bar and I'm putting pattern writing, information, pattern writing, tutorials, pattern writing, um, platforms to use it at. And lo and behold, when I hit one of them, I'm scrolling and I see Lynn's Made from 2017 asking she's asking in the group how do you guys write your patterns and what programs do you use? That literally made me smile because it means that I'm on the right track, that it's not me thinking I can't do this, I need help. This is something that needs to be, taught, and people came to her aid and gave her information, and I'm just like it made me feel like I was okay. Like, I don't know how else to explain it, but Lynn, I love the way she writes. She's a very creative person, and she's nice. The fact that I seen that was so humbling, so reassuring that somebody that makes really nice patterns. I like her pattern style writing. Ah, originally asked back in 2017. It made me feel good, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not alone. Okay, so I'm not the only person that thinks that there has to be programs, right? So it's been really interesting because I'm not a person that makes a post and like asks for people to help. I usually go through the search engine functions and ask questions, and my answers will be like if you're in creative bag making, most likely your answers are going to be already in somebody's previous post. Yeah. Okay, so that I get a lot of questions about that. People like the way I edit my photos, and if you were to take a photo class from me, you would laugh so hard. Most of all my photo editing is because of my friend Christina. Her husband is a professional photographer, so, like, when I first was in part of when I got into the sewing world via Facebook, I would get asked to strike fabrics, and Christina's pictures always came out looking like they belong in a catalog or a cover of Vogue or something. I'm like, "Hot damn, how do you do that?" So she was nice enough to talk about, like, the golden hours and, how to take pictures at an angle, but going up, down, whatever, and I took what she taught me, and over the years, I think I kinda honed my skills on what looks good, for my bags, but if I you told me to write something about it, I would be in complete and utter a loss, but it took me a friend who has really good photos for me to ask pictures, and this brings me back to what I was originally saying. If there's something that you wanna do in this school, like not school, like education-wise in our sewing world, don't be afraid to ask. Like if you're a person that's like, hey, I want to turn this into a backpack. Has anyone turned this to a backpack? You'll be surprised. Somebody might jump in and be like, oh, I did it. Here's my pictures. This is what you do, XYZ. You could say, hey, I have a pattern and put it out there. There are people that are going to want to see you succeed and want to help you. Just like if you have a problem with pictures, if you see someone that has really good pictures, ask them. Like, do you use your cell phone? What kind of editing software do you use? Are you using a light box? Are you like just ask. Don't be afraid to ask. No, it's Affinity's no, it's not an Apple program. Yeah, I like the way you do your steps. Yes, and a country cow. I like how hers kinda reminds me of what we had to do as a kid, like, with our college roll paper. You know how we would have to put our name, the date, the subject, and, like, our headers? So that's what hers is. It's like, "Okay, we're doing the exterior, the seam allowance is 3/8 of an inch, the basting is 1/4, and this," and, like, so whenever I'm doing anything, all I have to do is look up. And weirdly, because it reminds me of primary school, it works out. Just like when when Shannon busted out the Venn diagram for the Tuesday Total, I was like, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense." Something 'cause you used to see that as a kid, so it just becomes like, "Oh, okay, I got it now." And that's how I like Country Cows. Like each paragraph, there's a picture, so you just correlate it, like it's easier for me to read. Everyone's so different though, like, I love reading through people's patterns just to see how they do the photos, like, it's little things in life that make me happy. Do you know where you can get D-ring connectors, templates for 3/4 of an inch? No, Leslie's Pit if you're trying to, like, look for measuring, like, the dots, Leslie's comes in a 1 inch, but in between the lines is 3/4 of an inch. So you can always have straight rivets. Um, yeah, mines get wonky too. And there are people that Arc Expression has 3/4 of an inch rulers that like go up to 8 inches, and they also have holes like every half inch and every inch. And you can use that as well. Arc Expressions. Yeah, the Post-it note seam allowance. I think it would be really cute if it was a magnet that was a Post-it note. and then just like have different seam allowances. You could just throw it on your machine, because honestly, that is something. If you look at any of my videos and you hear me flipping pages, it's me flipping to the front page to figure out what the seam allowance is. Like I'll give you a perfect example. I was making the Gaia. I, for some odd reason, wasn't paying attention to the 1/4 of inch. I made that whole thing with 3/8 of an inch because I could have sworn that I would have put like my firstborn, like this is a 3/8 of an inch. And it was all because I didn't put my clip right there. And that's my fault. I don't know why that is a blind spot for me, but it is. So if anyone comes out with cool magnets, I'll be the first one in line to buy one for every one of my machines. 'Cause, man, I suck at that. Like, I suck. There's certain things like, you know what's hilarious? I also do that with, swoon. Swoon is a 1/2 inch. There's not any of the patterns that are not a 1/2 inch. When you do a zipper, it's always 1/4 of an inch. These are the try and true. But, like, when I make someone pointed out something very good because I did not I just guess I didn't pay attention. When I make the Betty Bowler at 80%, because that's my sweet spot, that's my sweet size bag, I never use a 1/2 inch. I always use 3/8 of an inch. So it's slightly bigger than 80% when it's finished. I never noticed that. Yeah. Yes. Oh my god, you do. That is my favorite thing on the Aries, is that you have the 2. Holy crud, that makes a big difference, because let's say you really want, some thick, like, edge paint, like, some thick, I usually go for the 3/4 of an inch, and I could put a 1-inch hardware, 'cause I know I'm gonna be making that edge paint really super thick, and I want it to look really good. Yeah. I did it really nice too. It was blue. It was Lynn's made she made a bag with Saddle Smooth Brown from, Backstitch, and I ordered it, and I used my, 626 cotton, and all the edge painted pieces are that baby blue that's in the 626. It looks so awesome, but I sewed that whole entire sucker up at 3/8 of an inch. Yeah, the whole thing. The whole thing. And you know where I realized I made a mistake is when I was doing the lining and it said go from 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch. I was like, "Are you" my fault. It was 100% my fault. And the thing is, it's not like I have not made that. That's probably like my 26th. But so, yeah, having a Post-it notes or something with a measurements do help. Sometimes I go in and I highlight too. That you don't have that pattern, you need to get the Aries. Like, there's so many people that have done really, really good, tutorials. Of course, you have the maker, you have Shannon, then there's all these different people, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Jess Oakroots did it, not this past money, but the previous. So, it is a fast bag, it's super domestic friendly, and if you've just been wanting to start dabbling, like, kind of dabbling with some edge painting, that is the bag, because it's not so much where it's overwhelming, but you get to learn a lot about your what works for you, like how many coats of, base paint do you need and how many top coats and all that stuff. What is what group? Oh, you talking about, creative bag making? It's pretty oldish. It is has a lot, like, over 40K people in it, but, yeah, I just go in there and whenever I have questions, I just go in the search engine bar and, I try not at all costs, I tried not to, have people look at me. I'm that person, like, when I ask a question and everyone's staring at me, I would turn beet red. So the search engine is incredible because that group has a wealth of knowledge. Yeah, I love her methods. I'm on board with you, Linda. You could do both, depending on what you're trying to do for the Tuesday tote. I like the fact that the Tuesday tote was the first clear bags that I really sold. People liked the way that looked, and it worked out really good. And for the one I did, I bound the inside. which is like a little bit of jelly, and it was really cute. I know, Christine, I wish you were going to SME. Yeah, that's the reason why I don't wanna ask, because like, I like there's a couple things. When if you're my part of my Patreon peeps know that before we do any bag, I ask the original designer, "Hey, can we do your bag? We're either gonna do it a so long or we're going to do some hacks, but everybody here has to have proof that they have your pattern." And it's a group that you can't see. It's a hidden, it's a hidden Facebook thing and a hidden I'm sorry, hidden YouTube thing. It's really crazy because I was looking at the hidden one, there's over, like, 50 videos already, and it's hilarious because you guys on YouTube, if you're not part of the Patreon, you don't have access to. They do, they have, like, access to, like, when I create weird stuff that become my new, thing of the moment. They get to experience that the whole 9 yards. So, like, when we did the Tuesday Tote, everyone had to have the expansion pack so we could do what we're going to do. But and I 'cause I always ask because I'm always afraid that a designer would think I'm doing something, like, I don't know, not nice, because there's a lot of not nice people in there. Um just like I got a lot of feet kickback because I did not make a hitchhiker because the designer wasn't around. There's no way I'm going to create a video without the designers like A-okay. And the reason why I haven't asked any designers about assistance with making a pattern is like you said, Shannon, you don't want to seem like you're poaching. I don't want to be a pattern designer. Swear to God, if I can give this to somebody else to do for me, I would. I do what I do best. I can make bags and I'm pretty fast at sewing. Top stitching is my superpower. And apparently colorways are my superpower too. And that's it. I like doing that. I just like sewing bags. That's it. I don't even mind cutting that much, but it's sewing bags. But yeah, I just wanted to make it nice so that way when people go at home, they can make this without any reservations. So I did see that there's a couple of people that out there that are teaching. So I see Kelly from Creative Bag Making. She has like a whole course syllabus, and on her website, she has different stuff to introduce you how to make a pattern, how to turn your pattern into a PDF, and how to turn your pattern pieces into a SVG file for people to cut on whatever their devices. Then there is another person, and I'm going, My Petite my petite she her name is Monica, I believe, and she has a course too where she teaches you all about pattern drafting. There's a lot. What I'll do is I'll start collecting all the information I could possibly get and see if I could put it in a Google Doc in case somebody's interested. Because that's what I do. I go into research mode to see what will work better for me and what do I want for a long-term effect. I feel like Monica, the from My Petite, is actually better for a person that really wants to get into pattern drafting and wanting to make their own pattern pieces and want to be a designer versus I feel like Kelly's is a little bit more like, okay, you just want to get this one pattern knocked out of the way and be done. That was like ding ding ding. And I'm willing to pay for education. I don't believe anything in life is free. And if somebody does want to help me, then great. But I'm gonna in turn trying to help them out because it's a give and take balance. You don't want your friendships in this business to become where it's one-sided, where you take, 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 and you never give. So I'm off my box platform right now. I'm so sleepy. Yeah, it hurts. I mean, like, it doesn't say the size. Yeah. I know. I'm trained for 3/8 of an inch. I was like, I was gonna send you the picture while I was doing it. I would be like, this is where I made the mistake again. um, but honestly, seriously, somebody come out with these magnets. I think you may make a little small of a killing, and then if you can come up with like themes like fox or dark and gothy Halloween or whatever, it would probably be really cool because you could put a magnet on anything, and sometimes all it takes is that person to visualize and see that number where they're gonna be fine. I am, like, literally set for 3/8 of an inch. It always throws me off when it's 1/4, and it shouldn't because I test for, So Sweetness, and she's 1/4 of an inch, except on the two-door, that's at 1/2 an inch. Oh, no, I'm really excited about the Aries bag. Yeah, picking your fabrics and all that stuff. Aw. I love edge painting, man. I weirdly love it. I'm messy. Like, I feel like it would be really funny to have, like, who I consider really good edge painters, Shannon, and I also think Nicole from Sonar. I think it would be hilarious to have all 3 of us have one thing to edge paint. You'll look at me and be like, "Shnova, we are not in kindergarten. Why do you have edge paint in your hair?" But my product will be good. I am the messiest edge painter in the world. Like, when I see, Shannon's, like, videos and she's doing it really elegant, I'm like, "I secretly wanna be able to do, like" I think that's a superpower skill. Hone it. Hone it, Shannon. And I see, even with, Sonar, like, if she, like it bleeds, she'll use her finger, she wipes it off, it's not on her. It takes it like, edge paint, like, I have to exfoliate myself to get edge paint off my body. It is, not a fun process. It's I don't know why I'm so messy with it, but it works. Oh, no, I wasn't taking it like that. No, I think that's how Shannon, exactly how you said is exactly how I think. Sometimes you don't wanna ask somebody because you don't know how they're gonna take it, and they could take it as like, "I put in all this education, why should I give it to you?" That's why I don't do anything. That's why I research everything. You've seen how much I have in a folder for research, you'll be like, "Holy hell, Shanova." Because I don't want to seem like I want your knowledge and education. And it took a long time for you guys to hone what you like. You're I know you're not a gatekeeper. You're a good person. Yes. Miko Craft does use Google Docs. He is so creative. He is so, so, so creative. Like the things he puts together, I'm like, you just make it seem so effortless. It all flows so beautifully. I like his video styles too, the lighting, everything. They're not. But what if you have like a magnetic board? Like like a what remember it like back in the days when movie theaters would have to slide like letters in to create it? Like what if it was like a little slider thing, but it was magnetic and you could put just like it's at your table. Sometimes you just need that visual, like saying like 3/8 of an inch. I'm teaching the Aries in June. So we have a while, but it's can you believe we're gonna be in September, like, in a like, 2 days? Right? September 1st. I'm ready for fall, though. Summer, I'm done. I'm done with summer. There's something about August, by the time it hits August 15th, I'm like, "Is it cold yet? Is it cold?" It needs to be cold. I know, I okay, so, like, I would be if there was, like, an edge painting off you like, I would get tapped out. They'll be like, "Shinova, Shinova edge paints like a two-year-old." That's just it's like I don't know. I'm always running out of base coat, and it like, Kindle's like, "Yeah, it's because you made a hand mask," as I'm peeling the base coat off. I don't know, I'm a messy one. I don't know why, and also, that's why you hear me say, "Yeah, this is my edge painting shirt," like, you know what I'm edge painting because all the shirts will have, like, no collar. Um Yeah. My first Purple Rain shirt has, like, splotches of, like, light blue, and I cannot get that off. Like, I only thing I can attest for is that that color does not wash off. So, I mean, that's a good thing for bags and everything. It will not wash off. It's like, it's there. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. I like edge painting though. I also like when I like the process of the color theory and making colors. I have no idea why that gets me so happy to create a color that's custom in edge painting. I have zero clues, but I get really excited about it. What? Okay. Okay, you need to edge paint, even if you're messy like me. It's a good skill set to have because, okay, along with edge painting, but learning how to do color theories and paints. Have you ever had your feed dogs like rip apart a corner of a bag, like right here? And you're like, oh man, I can see it. Learning how to mix and match edge paint, you could probably make this little cosmic blue and put edge paint it and it will blend in and you're okay. So that's another reason why to edge paint because like if your feed dogs are like, guess what? I'm gonna rip up this vinyl. You could fix that with some edge paint. Just throwing that out there. Um, I do use leather markers, but I usually use them not on things that are gonna get wet. Like these leather markers I'll use on for like zipper facings, just so that the white backing won't be shown. But you can get leather markers too. It's just that buildup. Yes, I love color. Isn't color theory is like the most coolest things ever. And I'm like, somebody just make a class so that way somebody can learn. Because me explaining, you're gonna be like Shinova, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, sorry, I'm sorry. I'm not the best at color theory to explain, but I'm really good at making colors to go with the bag. I just don't know how to explain it. You need to. Okay, so I have an edge painting video. I need to re-update it, but go look at if you have if you have any of, Shannon's patterns, even if you don't, she shows, like, a little bit of edge painting. If you're on her Facebook page, she does, like, trailers, that's what I think of them, and you can see her edge painting, her freestyle drawing on the back to do whatever, and it can give you some ideas. Also, Sonar edge paints a lot, and what I like about Sonar is that she is not like she'll be edge painting, like, "Do, do, do," and it starts dripping, and she's like, "Okay, hold on." And I'm like, yes, this is how I do it. Okay. She also does uses like fashion. I have glue everywhere, so if I just pop glue out, just be okay with it. She also uses like Fashic Fuse to do as the base versus the base coat. So it's always good to learn from different people how they do their version. It's cool because like some people like somebody asked me yesterday, like how many base coats. I was like, yeah, I have 4 to 5 base coats is my sweet spot. But they were like, what if you don't sand? And I'm like, I sand in between each layer. That's something I learned that is important to me. I've learned so many different things by watching other people do it. Then you start kind of honing your own craft. It's kind of like cooking. You see people make spaghetti a million different ways. All of a sudden, your brain's going to start popping off like, what if I peel all the skins off the tomato? Because that's the deadliest part of the nightshade. And nobody should have acid reflux if I remove the skin and the seeds. That's a thing, just so you know. Yeah, Sonar's a really amazing, really good person for edge painting. And another, if you get a Mackie 55 pattern, any of them, like I don't in one of her videos in the beginning, she's always showing you edge painting, and she also uses her fingers for picking up messes too, so it makes me really excited that I'm not that unsophisticated with it. Maggie 55, if you own any of her patterns, go to one of her videos when she's doing prep work, when they're doing edge painting, and you'll get a nice education off that as well. Yeah, I got my leather markers. Sometimes Frog Jelly has really cool ones, like they'll have green, purple, and they have other ones not like color of leather. Um, I use the frog I use these markers for the inside. Like I said, like if they're like zipper facings or trim, and I'm too lazy to edge paint them. That's that. Or I also use it a lot in reverse applique because like everyone's like, you don't see the white from the marine vinyl. No, no, you don't. Because I edge paint with my marker that just flew underneath the table. That's one of my favorite. I like use whatever you gotta use to make you feel like you have a good bag. Yeah, I catch everything with my fingers and my nails. I had, like, blue, edge paint that was, like, underneath this weird nail bed that I it took forever to get it. I had to soak, like, my finger in acetone for, like, 5 minutes to get it off. I'm glad that you're safe. Yes, I do have a Skyver, and I also have a leather splitter for Kindle's belts. I'm trying to see if I can do one of those videos tomorrow showing you how to make a leather belt, how I edge paint or how I, seal it in with water buffing and all that stuff like that, and show you some of the tools that I use to make a cool belt because Kindle loves leather belts. So, yes, I'm going to be skiving because I'm going to be actually making a leather bag that is an order that is a sh- she wanted not the Sweet Juliet from I'm trying to think one of I think it's the Journey or something from Maggie 55 in leather. The leather's so cool. I got this pull-up leather. Oh my god, the tech it has, like, texture, like a pebble texture, but whenever you pull it or stretch it, like, you can see it, like, crease like a wax canvas. It is so gorgeous. So, yeah, skiving is a never-ending thing that I'm learning. I am by no means a pro. I am still afraid of it. So, like, I'm afraid of it as in I'm gonna hurt myself afraid. Like, it has everything to protect it. It just I'm really accident prone. So if I'm not cautiously thinking like, "Okay, we gotta make sure we don't get hurt," I will get hurt. The moment I think I'm safe, the moment I think I'm safe. Yeah. Oh my god, my nail polish colors, this is why I've been using this Barbie glitter color one because every time I edge paint something, like, that edge paint will say, like, it's nail polish, and I'm like, "What the hell?" Okay. So I can honestly tell you wholeheartedly without Mojo So's even knowing her paint stays. Like, I have to literally exfoliate that off my skin. I'll be like, "Why is it not coming off?" I know, and I heard that before, your nails are natural, and I feel like in the bag making world, we use our nails for, like, a lot. Like, have you ever watched anyone, like, crease a center? Like, they're like, "Oh, your nail I'm just using my nail bed to crease." Like, you're like, "Yeah, I get it. I get it." I'm always curious too, like, if people get acrylic the fake ones with the long that are, like, pointed, does it help with corners? Like, pointed like, focusing them out a little bit more? Because I could see myself having one thumbnail just to do that. I would do that, and I wouldn't have any problem with it. I'll be like, "Say something. Say something." Ah, yeah. I feel better. I'm just tired. I'm really, really tired. Like, I feel like, you know how, like, you have a flu or a cold coming in, there's, like you feel, like, exhausted that if you close your eyes, you could fall asleep anywhere and everywhere? That's pretty much how I feel, so it's like, I have to get that, like, hyping myself up, like, "Okay, we're almost done. We're gonna do this today," and I have 3 things I need to do today, and if I can do them, then I will feel really great about myself. Yes, okay, Alicia, thanks for letting me know. I wanted to know. And yeah, because I would have a thumbnail just to poke out corners. Like nothing drives me more insane than corners not being poked out. Have you ever seen like a really dope bag and then like the corners are like encaged in and you're like, just give me your bag for one. Nita, give me your bag. give me your bag and I'm just gonna poke this out real quick. It'll make everything better. Or like when somebody was like, "You didn't top stitch the lace." I was like, "Yeah, I didn't, because my machine hates lace vinyl, and it just looks weird, and I can't top stitch it, so I won't." Oh my god. I knew I was waiting. I'm thinking I have claws in my head. I have a whole other, like, Pimp Juice song sticking in my head. Thanks a lot, Shan. Yeah, I always wanna push out corners, like, whenever I see a bag that's, like, not pushed in, I'm like, "Dude, just let me push them out, please." I know what people like when they get my bags, they'll be like, let me close your zipper pocket." I am notorious for not doing that. After every bag's done, I have the bag that I'm going to start wearing is the newer bag that's coming out from Country Cow. She showed it on her Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube, right? So I have it. It's in my possession. I'm like putting things in there. I'm putting like face masks for the airport and all of that stuff. And then I go put something in the zipper pocket, and lo and behold, now I have like candy and mints rolling inside the bag, and I have to undump the bag to get everything out because I did not close off the pocket. I am like Kendall's main job when he's doing orders is to make sure that all the pockets are closed off. I'm notorious for that. I'm glad that you enjoy them, Shannon. Oh my goodness. Yeah. There's only. Yeah, the purple thing works too. You know who has the purple thing does work, but see, I am really heavy-handed. I've had my purple thing like bow into a full arch because I'll be like, "You're gonna come out." It's just I'm heavy-handed, so I usually get metal tools for it. Or like the reason why I was like on Joe Lely's the hemostats, because I use those bad boys for everything. Like that is like my favorite secret weapon. Be like, yeah, look, I could poke out corners now, mom. All right. Well, I am going to probably drink some Coca-Cola because I'm not going to make coffee. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to get some Coca-Cola and maybe a few aspirin and get ready for my Patreon and what I'm going to sew up today. So I will talk to y'all tomorrow, and I hope everyone has a good day. Everyone in Florida, stay safe. Anyone that's in the hurricanes path, stay safe. Don't do anything crazy. Everyone have a good day, okay?